So I have an image that I shot in Africa that I would like to post-process. It's a little dull. So I'm going to post-process it in Lightroom and through Aurora as a pseudo HDR. So follow along as I post-process it. We are in Lightroom and we're going to show you how to take this humdrum image on my left and create an image like it is on our right. Very easy and very quick to do. Okay, so we've got the image selected, and what it is it's a pseudo HDR, so it's a single image HDR. So I'm going to copy it, export it to Aurora. And this was very easy to do. It didn't take long at all. So for those of you who are afraid of post-processing, it's going to be a little trick for you. And I just want to create an HDR. Single image, we're going to wait for it to kick in. Should just take a second. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the presets. I'm going to click on Enhanced Landscape. Normally I bring it down to about 50. This time around I'm going to leave it at about 66. For me, what I like to do is once I've done my original presets, I will add another adjustment layer. And then from there, I'm going to try and warm it up a bit. I like the warm feeling. So we're going to add a little bit of saturation to it as well. HDR Enhance, I'm going to give it a little bit of a smart structure just to pull out more of the details in the grass. I always add a little bit of denoise to it just to keep the noise down. Then I'm going to actually, for this one, I'm going to zip all the way down to burning and dodging. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Usually between 70 and 90 is where I go. And I never use a full strength. So I'm going to lighten it in areas right now. And basically, I just want to make the brush a little smaller. And I just want to make these areas where the buildings are just a little bit more pronounced. And I really didn't like that, so I'm going to the eraser on that one. I'm going to hit the lighten again. We're down about 12, 11. Make my brush a little smaller. Just going to brighten that area up. Now there was a few spots that I did make a little bit darker to burn it. This tree has some interesting things in there, I thought. And I just wanted to burn just underneath these buildings. And you know what? I'm not liking that. So I'm just going to erase it. I thought that was too much, so I'm going to bring it down to about 10. All I'm trying to do is add a little contrast between these buildings and the brightness of what the building is, because I want the buildings to kind of stand out on their own. All right, so that's all I did for the burning side of it. And you can kind of see the difference between that and that. So that was pretty easy to do. So there's what we started with. There's what we ended with. And I'm not quite done. There's a few adjustments in Photoshop or Photoshop Lightroom I want to do. I'm noticing, I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen. Let's go to 100%. But in the sky, there's a little bit of purple in here. So I want to bring that sky out. So I want to bring, there's a little bit of purple in around these areas. So I want to pull that out of there to give it some contrast and color again. So I'll be back in a second when this comes back to Lightroom. Okay, so we're back in the Lightroom, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it to a 16 by 9. 16 by 9 is pretty close to my favorite. And the reason I'm cropping it this way is because there's way too much sky in it. Let's go back to the original. There's way too much sky up here. And I don't want all these branches and things at the bottom. So for me, this 16 by 9 is going to be the better, I think the better view, better crop. So that, I like that better. I think that's a worthwhile crop. In fact, you know what? We don't need a lot on the left-hand side either. So I'm going to pull that in just a little bit. There we go. That's, to me, that's a much, much better. I want to try, well, no. Because I've already done my exposure settings and things like that, I'm not going to hit it there. But what I'm going to do is something you may not have ever thought of. So I'm going to take the split tone adjuster, and I'm going to, because there's a little bit of purple up here in the sky, I want to make the whole thing kind of a purple color. So I'm going to grab just the highlights on the split tone, move it way over. Now I'm just doing the highlights. And as you notice, I'm looking at the sky. So it's got a nice purple for me. I'm kind of liking it in the saturation. But you notice, like, it's also down here in the grass area, and I don't want it down there. So I'm going to take the balance, and there you go. There's my grass has gone back to a grassy color. Oops. Grab my saturation again. There we go. I'm trying to just get that purple sky into there. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that. That's pretty good. So the only other thing I might want to try is I want to get some sharpening into it. So I'm going to sharpen it. Don't need a lot of sharpening because it was done in HDR, so I don't really need a lot of sharpening. And I'm going to pull the noise reduction up a bit. So that's all I did for that image. And I think it actually turned out pretty good. I kind of like that better. So I'm kind of happy with that. That's all the adjustments that I want to do on it. So let's take a look at this one, and the one we post-processed, and the before shot. So there you go. What do you think? We've taken a dull image and brought it into a little bit more of an exciting, more drama for an image. So don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Who Said Photography.